Harvard president, Claudine Gay, resigned. Now, those of you who are not up to date on this story, this woman is she's an awful woman. She's a horrible human being. This is a woman who got her job, basically, I'm sorry to say this, because she's black, because she fit a quota. She was the least qualified person to be president of one of the greatest universities in the world. She got the job despite having a career that was, pitiful compared to anyone who's had that job beforehand. It was quite clearly an appointment which was filling a quota, okay? She has hounded people from office again and again and again, literally trying to get professors losing their tenure because they don't go along with the sort of the trans, woke, climate, whatever it is. Diversity, equity ideology. Yeah. People who just say the most things like, trans women aren't women thing. Basically, very, very simple statements of fact. She's genuine. I think she's a nasty piece of work. Well, it's come back on to haunt her because after Harvard happily allowed the most extraordinarily anti-Semitic demonstrations and protests and signs and behaviour from students in Harvard against Jewish students in the wake of the October 7th attacks and the attacks on Hamas in Gaza. She went to a Senate committee and in Washington and basically defended freedom of speech, but didn't defend freedom of speech for anyone else, just for, anti-Semites. She has not been brought down by the anti-Semitism, though. No. She's been brought down by plagiarism, because it turns out she basically didn't write most of the stuff she claimed to have written. I'm glad she's gone, but then I don't want people losing their jobs for having different opinions from me. But if you're defending anti-Semitism, then you probably don't have a business being the president of a university.
What is particularly awful about that is that this is somebody who comes from the same school of thought that for the last 10 years has been pushing the idea that speech is violence and that free speech on campus is not in fact acceptable because it might harm minorities, except when it's about Jewish people, at which point you can say whatever you want. And to give you some idea, the BBC tweeted out this morning after she announced that she would be leaving Harvard that she was the victim of the culture war. And I just thought, at what stage did anti-Semitism become the culture wars, which, let's remember, as we're always told, was started by the right to obfuscate from the fact that right-wing governments aren't doing very well. It is lie after narrative. It is disgraceful. It's fantastic that she's gone. But let's remember, she was one of 3 senior university leaders that appeared in that Senate, and they all said the same thing, which was it would depend on the context. And the other 3, one of them has also gone. There's still one left. But these are the 3 best universities in the United States. Imagine what it must be like amongst all the rest of them.
But one of my things, though, I do worry that a lot of this was actually about money talking, and an awful lot of people just basically going, we are not going to give money to a university anymore. Applications to Harvard plummeted as a result. If my daughter wanted to go to Harvard or something like that, I would say, under no circumstances will you go to a university run by that woman.
It's been fascinating. So many major donors, Wall Street banks, international companies, alumni have been saying, no, actually, we won't fund this, a lot of whom are Jewish themselves. And I say, good for them, actually. You shouldn't be forking out to institutions that are telling people to be racist against
and again,
you.
it wasn't criticism of Israel.
No.
It was anti-Semitic, simple as that.